Hi, it's Alison from Broth of Life, and today I'd like to introduce you to Ashley, the kitchen coach. So Ashley, can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Well, the key thing with kitchen coaching is helping people to understand how to eat healthier. It's the how, and make it doable within the tight budgets, the tight time schedules, the picky eaters, the food intolerances, and everything that we're kind of dealing with in this crazy, fast-paced world of food convenience, which is not shaping up too well for most of our health. So I guess with my background, not being the traditional thing people would expect, that, the first question I get is, are you a nutritionist? Are you a naturopath? No, the background is actually engineering. So
wow.
For me, it's about the how. It's about the systems. It's about the structure. It's about the organization of doing things efficiently. So I know that we're time poor. I know we don't want to be in the kitchen for too long nowadays. We've got other things that we can be doing. So it's about getting in there, getting stuff done, getting the most meals prepared in the short time because you've got the skills and you've got the know-how.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly something I found very challenging as I moved from the SAD diet to eating healthy and natural foods. It was the time it took, the preparation, the organisation. So if someone can help me with that, wow, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
It's nice seeing people all of a sudden get it. So there's something that I call being in the flow. And it's really cool when people start to go, oh, I know what you've been talking about. I think I'm in the flow. And it just basically means that you're set up, you know what you're gonna eat. You don't necessarily have to stress so much about meal planning because you're kind of beyond that, and obviously that doesn't happen overnight, right? But the idea is that you start to really understand and then experience the benefits of feeling better because you're eating real food.
Yeah.
And most people, it's a matter of enjoying it. Like if we have to feed ourselves 3 times a day for the rest of our lives, I think I worked out, it ended up being 100,000 meals we're gonna eat in our lifetime. So you think about it, if someone despises their time in the kitchen, I think it worked out to 4% of our life we spend in doing food prep for our meals or eating. Yeah, wow. Not including the shopping, not including the cleaning up, just the food prep. So 4% of our life. So if we don't enjoy it, I mean, that's tragic for me. That's where my heart just goes out to people to just go, it doesn't have to be a struggle. You can really enjoy it. It can be this really creative space. So,
wow.
Yes, in a nutshell. But it is also about health. Can I just touch on that one too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think I would have been down this journey if I hadn't myself been diagnosed with autoimmune disease in my early 20s.
Yeah.
So that was a big wake-up call, such that I literally decided to drop everything, including my career, and just figure out how to heal. Because I knew that if I didn't do that and if I didn't figure this out, then ultimately with one autoimmune disease, now we know what it's like. If you get one, you're likely to get multiple in your lifetime. And I was already starting in my 20s with my first one.
Which is young.
Yeah. And it's just getting
becoming
younger.
More and more common. And it's an incredibly debilitating feeling.
Definitely.
Suffering with autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
And there's so many.
So many. There's 80-something different defined ones, let alone the ones that are new and popping up. So so I had to heal myself of that first, and that whole journey opened up this whole process of kitchen coaching. Yeah. Having had an positive upbringing around food was good, but then applying it to actually heal my body now through real food. Yeah. Exactly like I think Broth of Life is so passionate about it.
And I've got to ask, how are you feeling these days? How's the autoimmune disease going?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have it anymore.
Yes.
However, I'm never going to abuse that privilege.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm still eating extremely clean, making good choices, that kind of thing. But it doesn't feel like I'm trying anymore because it's just the normal part of life. Yeah. Right? And that's I think the coolest thing for a person to experience is that point where you just go, oh yeah, this is just the way I do it now. It's just, this is how I eat. These are the foods I buy. This is what I prepare, and it's easy and it tastes good and it's easy.
What do you think maybe what were the 5 fast food items in your pantry that were the hardest to get rid of?
Oh boy. Okay, definitely bread. Yeah. But I wouldn't say now I had to get rid of it. I just had to adapt the version that I have. So I still have bread every day, but now it's a very different version. It's not full of numbers. It's not full of emulsifiers and bread improvers and these kind of things, and obviously not full of gluten. So bread. It did take me probably about 3 years to not feel a sense of I want to cry when I walked by a fresh bakery.
And that smell.
Yeah, but I did reach the point where now it's almost repulsive, actually.
Yeah,
so it just
good.
basically what that shows is that your body can completely shift
It does.
in your smell and your sense of taste and things like that too. So let's see, bread. Oh, that's a tough one. Packaged foods that were in my pantry that were hard to let go of. They're not hard anymore, so it's hard to remember what was the original hard thing to get rid of. But it probably was all the gluten products because I was so addicted to gluten. Yeah. Oh, cheese, definitely cheese.
Oh, that's a big one.
Doesn't work for me anymore. Yeah, I could go on, but there was lots. You know what, even until this idea of the broth being able to be real broth but dehydrated came about, I was using a lot of stock powders that were full of stuff that I didn't understand at the time.
Yeah.
And I see in most people's pantries, pretty much everyone in Australia's got a jar of Vegemite.
Yep.
Right? Pretty much everyone's got a spray oil, all the different kinds of spray oils. So that's a good starting place too, just for people to get awareness about that. So that's, I guess, the food education element of what I do. Is just to help people understand how to make that doable.
And so you can help both singles, couples and families with this transition, because it's obviously different for all three situations there.
It is.
Yeah.
We're going to be optimizing for different goals, right? So someone that's cooking for one is going to be organizing themselves slightly different than someone that's cooking for a family of 6. Yeah. So, but definitely, they're all welcome. Yeah, I think the specialty and what I'm most passionate about is the next generation. So in order to work with the children, I need to work with the parents because the change has to come from that level. And personally, I guess, because I was diagnosed with that autoimmune disease in my 20s, and I'm starting to see this at younger and younger ages, even since that diagnosis, that's probably my main driving factor, is to help families understand how to break that cycle.
Yeah. And do you feel our younger generation are starting to be a little more educated? Or do you think the marketing is still getting at them before we can?
I think it's becoming more polarized. So I think the families that do gain this awareness in the beginning, they're extremely blessed to be able to pass that on to the kids at a young age, so that it just becomes part of the natural speak, part of the natural. The kids don't know any different. This is how they eat. This is what they talk about food. This is the food education that they're exposed to, versus the ones that are then not in that awareness. They don't know about that. They're becoming very polarized in that they don't know any different. So they are still succumbing to the marketing of the big food manufacturers. And I think it's a polarization that we're seeing. So there's definitely some that are really improving, but there's some that are really going downhill fast too. Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you educate the public? Have you got any programs? Have you got offerings? Is it online? Do you visit? How do you go about this?
Well, it's evolved. I started literally before it was even officially kitchen coaching. I was working in kitchens with families because of word of mouth, and they said, "Can you come help me? I've heard what you've done for so and so." So it started very much organically in that sense. Yeah. Now we're working with groups of up to around the 80 to 100 people in an intake at once, through mostly my online programs that can make it available Australia-wide. Yep. And so it's mostly in a program training sense, but it's not your average online program. There's still a lot of tangible, hands-on stuff. We still mail you a lot of hold it in your hands workbooks and things like that.
Which is very important and hard to find these days.
It is, yes. And still very much that live connection, very much a lot of talking about that. So
yeah. And have you got one piece of advice that you'd put out to the Broth of Life family?
One piece of advice.
What would it be?
The best form of investment you will ever make in your life will be into your health.
Oh, I can't back that enough. That is so true.
In every way possible. It is so critical. Without our health, there's no way we can even enjoy any wealth we do have.
Correct. That is absolutely right. Well, thank you very much, Ashley. It's been Alison. Fantastic. And if you're wanting to know more or get some assistance in how to make life easier in your kitchen, I know I certainly will be. The details will be below, and you can contact Ashley, the kitchen coach.
Thank you, Alison.
Thank you.